this man, he's the most entertaining personality out here right now. But man, did he get caught. The man, I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure you do, but he went live in a moment that he shouldn't have went live. Now, listen, you got to give the man some pass, right? Because he was probably in a situation where he was so excited that he got to just like, I got to get in. Right? I got to get in, do this thing. He must have hit the button by accident. And you're not paying attention. You in the mood. But, yo, the part that got me is the growling.
Yeah, the noises are crazy.
Yo, this old was growling. Growling. Yo,
Beth, that shit crazy.
on a Saturday. Welcome to the All Even Podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. You can catch me on Instagram, X, TikTok, All Even Media on TikTok, All Even Podcast on Instagram, All Even Podcast on X. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend that missed 10Ks and about to be 11K soon. Claw's not here. Well, we miss Claw. We do. You know, he's supposed to be here. He's not here, but I'm not gonna penalize him. I'm not even gonna count the PTO today. Not. You know, so shouts to Claw. We'll see you when you get back. But Jimmy the Super Intern is here.
I have made it.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
This is 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You did say that you're going to be here for an extended period of time. I love it.
I don't think I'm doing anything anymore. I don't know. I was very busy on Fridays.
Yeah.
For a month. And then when I wasn't busy, the pod wasn't on.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bad timing.
Yeah,
But now I think we're back.
Good. It's good to see you. You know, you're not here for a long time, but you're here for a good time. Jazz is in the building, trying to sneak onto the couch. How are you? Nice. The Silent Assassin is in the building. How are you?
What's up? Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Our Mets are playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Smack the Phillies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat the hell out of them.
Yeah.
We beat the hell out of the Phillies like how Kamala Harris beat the hell. You know, we're not going to talk about it right now. Lots to get into, though. We got NFL Thursday Night Football. We have, you know, the weekend games to preview. Monday Night Football. Should TUA retire? I want to talk about that. Christian McCaffrey is out. There's a lot of fantasy owners that are pressing the panic button right there. They're probably jumping out of their windows. There's a lot that's going on right now in regards to football. Also, we have Dwayne Wade gets honored by the Miami Heat in a very, very big way. We'd like to talk about that. My irrelevant news of the week. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Before I get into all that stuff, though, let's just get it out of the way. Kamala Harris beat the hell out of Donald Trump on Tuesday night. It was great. It was absolutely fantastic. The fact that I could be able to sit there and watch this woman beat this orange man from outer space from pillar to post, it was great. I knew the exact moment where he lost his fucking mind. The exact moment. Because I seen it in real time. She's talking about, I advise you to go to Donald Trump's rallies. He's going to go ahead and talk about this and that, and then people are going to get bored and leave. And you saw his eyes get really bright. He was very, very subdued at that point. But once his eyes got bright like that, I said, oh, he's lost it. Because she looked back at him, right? Once he started talking, and she sat back and she started to smile. And you know what that smile says? In hood terms, we got him. We got him. That's what it is. She sent the bait out there. He took it. We got him. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. It was great. Pillar to post. The man has been in the public eye in regards to politics for almost 10 years, right? And he still has no plan to repeal the Affordable Care Act. You was president. Have no plan. Oh, I have a plan. I have a concept. So you got 50% of the country that is voting for a man that has a concept. No plan. It says more about you than it does him. So I'm happy because I knew from the day that they agreed to this debate that she was going to beat the hell out of him. And the fact that he came out and said, oh yeah, we won the debate. There's polls out there, 98% to 2, 92% to 8, 70. Where are you pulling these numbers from? He got beat so bad that normally after the debate, they call it the spin room where, you know, people are talking, reporters are there. He was in there. So they're like, what? Why are you here? You want to talk? You don't talk in a spin room after the debate if you know you won. You go home. You let everybody else talk about it. But he had to prove his point. And so bad, he got beat so bad, he's like, oh yeah, I don't want to debate her no more. It doesn't matter if it's on Fox News. He doesn't want to do it because he never wanted to do it in the first place. He had to, because had he not, he would have put himself in more trouble. So, I'm happy. Now, talking about this a little bit, you know, everybody's talking about the debate. Everybody's talking about this presidential cycle, right? So everybody's conversing about it, and that's good, right? That's good for our country. That's good that young people, the old people are talking. Everybody is conversing about politics. Hey, I'm giving my young people down here information that they should know on a weekly basis, which is good, right? But there's one person that I don't think should ever open their mouth about politics. Ever. Now, not at home, not at, in the bathroom, not on passing by never. It's the Pope. The Pope, he went out and had an opinion. Oh, you got to choose the lesser of the two evils, right? Okay. There's this man. You're going to vote for the man or you're going to vote for the woman? This fuck doesn't even know what he's talking about. And furthermore, you should never mix church and state. There's a reason why there should be separate. Nobody wants to hear what the fucking Pope has to say about politics. What you should be thinking about and should be trying to clean up is all those pastors and clergymen that diddle children. That's what you should be cleaning up and talking about. Instead, you want to get into politics. Don't nobody care. You're an old fuck that nobody goes to that. Nobody goes to church and says, oh my goodness, I just don't know what to vote for this year. Can you give me any insight, Pope? Do you have anything that you can be able to tell me to give me a reason why I should vote for certain candidates? Oh, you got to choose the lesser of the two. Nobody cares what you got to say. No one. So I was just like, why? Why? People are not going to like what I said about that just now. The Catholics or they're not going to like it. But guess what? I don't care. This is one of those things where I'm not big enough to get canceled. And even if I was, you couldn't do it anyway, because guess what? What I say is fact. And what people are going to realize, here's the Trump hands, right? What people are going to realize is that when I said that you don't mix church and state, that's a fact. But there's a part of our country that likes to commingle those two. When you hear them talk about, well, it says in the Bible they shouldn't do that. Church and state don't mix. So you need to separate, but they can't. So what they do is they put that in there as identity politics to be able to gravitate or pull a certain demographic of our community or population into their bullshit. Message. That's what that is. Moving on. Now, I love Shannon Sharpe. I do. This man, he's the most entertaining personality out here right now. But man, did he get caught. The man, I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure you do, but he went live in a moment that he shouldn't have went live. Now, listen, you got to give the man some pass, right? Because he was probably in a situation where he was so excited that he got to just like, I got to get in. Right? I got to get in, do this thing. He must have hit the button by accident. And you're not paying attention. You in the mood. But, yo, the part that got me is the growling.
Yeah, the noises are crazy.
Yo, this old ass motherfucker was growling. Growling. Yo, that shit reminded me of Baby Boy when Marvin was grabbed the mother and he was he was doing his thing across the TV. It's crazy. Like, that's what I imagine Shannon Sharpe doing in this situation. Yo, listen, and then his staff had came out and put out a press release or a post. Hey, he was hacked. You know, just kind of clean it up. Went on the show and said he wasn't hacked. It was, you know, he just hit the button by accident. He got called about it. People were saying, yo, you live right now. It was funny, but I understand how embarrassed he was. But look, it is what it is, man. Like, people have gotten caught in other situations. You've had people getting busy in their bedroom and their kid go ahead and kick the door open and mom's butt's in the air. Like, it happens, right? You got people out there that's trying to get freaky by themselves, right? And then your parents go ahead and knock on the door and, oh, things happen, right? Don't be ashamed. It's just the way it goes. Sometimes, like, when you're in that type of situation, your mind is foggy. Anyway, you're not thinking about certain things, especially if you're when you get to that point of release. You can be on the street. You gotta finish. That's just the way it goes. Doesn't matter who's there. Hey, so he must have been in a situation where, hey, he gotta. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter if he was even visible. He was gonna finish. It's just the way it is. We just need to find out who the hell Michelle. We gotta find out who Michelle is. That's what we gotta find out. That's what we gotta find out. That's it. But shouts to Shannon Sharpe. You know, I was glad that ESPN was not going to fire him or anything like that. This is not something that you do. But at the same time, Paul Pierce is probably like, yo, so you fired me for what I did on my IG Live, but Shannon Sharpe don't get punished? You're not Shannon Sharpe, Paul. I'm sorry. Just, you don't got that type of love, bro. But listen, it was funny. I don't know if that'll ever get out of the purview of the public. This is gonna be something that's gonna last for a very, very long time. I see people doing parodies of it. Like, there's so much stuff that's going on out there. But shouts to Shannon Sharpe. It happens. But it was so funny how he reprimanded Ocho, Chad Ochocinco, like a week or a couple of days before for being late, and you gotta make sure that you're professional in the show, and you got caught slinging it out there. He wasn't even in there for a long time neither. It was quick. The growling was quick. You know what I mean? But yeah, after the break, we're going to speak about a little Thursday night football, because that game had a lot of storylines that I'd like to discuss after the break.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Oh, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast.
Yeah, my nigga the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this go something. All Even. Yo, you. Oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now you gonna have to shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump in the
All
camera?
Even podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even podcast, right? All Even. That's your man.
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast. You cool?
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
G. Put him in G. Oh. Shout him out, G. Oh.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. So let's go ahead and go over Thursday night football between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo beats the hell out of the Dolphins 31-10. Josh Allen didn't really have to do much that game. It was the James Cook game. Like he went ahead and did his thing. He had 11 carries, 78 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Also caught a touchdown as well. So 3 total touchdowns for the game. The defense was sharp. Josh Allen really didn't have to do much the entire night. He was 13 for 19, 139 yards, a touchdown, had a QBR of almost 80. Pretty good. The defense was solid. They did exactly what they had to do. They frustrated Tua all night. Achin for the Dolphins had a great game. He was all over the place, man. 96 yards on the ground. He also had 7 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. So he did exactly what he needed to do to try to keep the games close. But obviously the game was out of reach. So, running the ball and being effective on the ground late in the game was just kind of chalk. Kind of picked up some garbage fantasy stats, but he had a good game. But that's not the conversation that we're talking about today. We're talking about how good the Buffalo Bills look at 2-0 right now. They were one of those teams where I said last year, hey, listen, I think Doug McDermott, if they don't succeed next year or this year, that it may be time for them to start looking at maybe possibly changing the coach. I still feel that way, but if they continue to win, they're one of the favorites right now. Obviously, it's still early, 2 games in, but they look good. They look like one of the consummate, consistent teams in the AFC East. So right now, Buffalo Bills are 2-0. They look good. They're firing on all cylinders. Defense looks sharp. Josh Allen, if they can be able to have this type of attack where they can be able to run the football effectively, not have Josh Allen throw the football a lot and make mistakes, that's a formula for success for this team going forward. And, have a defense that can be able to be aggressive and get some turnovers. They allowed 3 turnovers. They made Tua turnover the ball, 3 interceptions. Offense passing wise just didn't look good. And here's the conversation that we're going to have about Miami. Miami is a high octane offense. We understand that they have Tyreek Hill. We understand that they have Jaden Waddle. We understand that they have Achin. They understand that we have all of these particular players there. But outside of those guys being effective, if they're not on their game or playing their style of football, the Miami Dolphins are a pretty average to below average football team. And where that starts with is the quarterback position. I've always said that Tua is a okay quarterback, but is he a $53 million quarterback? I don't think so. Did he get paid that amount of money? Of course he did. But for him to sign that contract in the offseason and still don't understand the importance of sliding feet first. You're still doing reckless stuff when they paid you all of this money. You're now in concussion protocol, which means that you're not going to be available possibly for the following week. We don't know how long you're going to be out. That is supposed to be the leader of your football team. And if you're putting your team in a situation where now they don't know exactly when you're going to come back, that's one thing. The second thing that we really need to have a discussion about, this is my personal opinion. May not happen, but I've had other people echo the same opinion. I think it's time for Tua to retire. I think it's time for him to pack up and call it a day. We've seen what happened to him last year. They implemented this Tua helmet, right? This special helmet. It hasn't worked. You can't stop the brain from rattling around, especially if you have a history of concussions. Troy Aikman, Dallas Cowboys legend, had to retire because of concussions. Luke Kuechly, one of the best linebackers this game has ever seen, had to retire early because of concussions. The list goes on of players that could not play anymore because of concussion reasons. This is a quarterback. Now, the quarterbacks are protected more than ever. They are in a bubble more than ever. But there's also times where that quarterback has to go off script. He has to go ahead and rush. He has to go ahead and try to do things that are not going to keep him protected in that pocket. But every so often, they will get hurt. They'll get dinged up. But it seems to me that every time Tua has to do something and gets hit, he doesn't seem to get up. That's a concern if you're the Miami Dolphins. That should be a concern that you invested $53 million a year on a guy that had injury concerns prior to getting paid. Did you know that he would receive all of the $124 million if he was forced to retire? So they would literally have to eat all of that money. That's in his medical exception.
Yeah, it obviously works out for him, and I'm fortunate. Like, if he does have to retire, it's a sport he's played his whole life, but he's obviously set, doesn't have to worry about that. He has the guarantee in that, but also too, being the Dolphins, seeing the history with concussions, you know he's gonna get hit. You know it's an option that it could happen again. So why take that risk? And especially his concussions, like, you see how he is on the field. Just his motion's not going to be able to get back up right away, just being out of it. It's like a different type of concussion. So, yeah.
It's like one of the bad ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than, like, him walking off woozy, like he got the I don't want to do it. But you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like those are the real bad ones, when you sleep and you still got your hands up in the air. You know what I mean? So the fact that they understood the risk of this, respect to them for being able to take care of the player, right? Like, we're not talking about that part of it, that they didn't really care about that. They bypassed that and still made sure that they guaranteed that, because maybe they were thinking about this post-career. Maybe they were saying, hey, listen, we want to make sure that you're well taken care of if you don't play football anymore. That's commendable. But what does it leave your franchise in the next few years if he is forced to retire? You're now right back where you started, looking for a quarterback. So, that's an interesting thing that I saw. But yeah, I truly want him to retire. I just want him to retire. I don't want to see anything bad happen to a guy that, you're seeing all of these signs already that he's not, I'm not going to say built for playing football, but once you catch a certain head injury, that doesn't go away without time to heal. Right? Wrestlers, it's a high impact type of situation. People like to say it's fake, but they get concussed. There's guys that have had concussion problems and they had to retire early. They've taken years to heal and come back. But the key word is they've taken years to heal and come back. I think Tua, if he's going to leave or retire, you may have to take a few years off and try to revitalize your career after that. But to continue to play and to continue to be a target and to continue to put yourself at risk just doesn't seem too smart for me. It really doesn't. The head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, Antonio Pierce, Giants player, my condolences, I'm sorry. But he said it, that he wants Tua to retire. There's a lot of people around the NFL that they're starting to get nervous now, because it's like, how many more times do we have to see this happen to this individual player before we protect him from himself? At this point, everybody's on the hook. Everybody's liable. Miami doctors, the NFL, the head coaches, anybody who's a part of this decision making is responsible. God forbid if this guy becomes a vegetable, it's not going to look good for your brand. So it may not happen, but I think that there's going to be more people that are in his life, that are in his circle, that are going to try to nudge him in that direction. You may love football, but right now your body doesn't.
Mm.
And that's the biggest sign that maybe you need to step away.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk, especially he does have like a young family as well.
Right.
You know, so.
Correct.
But yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough, I'm sure, for him, but it's even tougher to see him have to go through that, because we've talked about this ad nauseum about about TUA. Like I said, I've never seen anybody have a fucking helmet designed for the we're gonna make sure just nothing happens. Well, fire those people, because you can't stop it. Brain ain't supposed to rattle around like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a natural thing to get hit and get hit by somebody who's strong and fast on a consistent basis. It's just not. Moving on to the slate of games that we have. Saints and Cowboys. Cowboys are at home. Cowboys are -6. This is two good defensive teams. Saints had a very, very good outing the first game, week 1. So did Dallas. They got their quarterback signed. Give me Dallas, man. Give me Dallas to win this game. 27-17. I feel that Dallas, the way they're constructed, they have the offense. Dak needs to get back in the rhythm. I don't know if Ferguson is going to play because he did sprain his MCL. The defense should be on top of their game. They have to be able to close up the point of attack in regards to the defensive line and stop Kamara from running all over them, because the Cowboys have had a problem with stopping the run over the last few years. So if they can be able to do that, I think they can win this game easily. And on top of that, the Cowboys have the most dangerous weapon in football, right? They got the best kicker in football, Aubrey. So, moving on from there. Raiders and Ravens. Raiders are on the road. Ravens are at home, -9. Both teams are 0-1. Obviously, the Ravens are a better team than the Raiders are. They lost to the defending champions on opening night. I got the Ravens winning this game 31-13. I think that they find a way to get Derrick Henry involved. I think they, obviously they're playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs have one of the best defenses in football. Raiders do not. So I think Derrick Henry gets acclimated. He gets more than 20 carries. I think Lamar Jackson finds a way to be consistent with the deep ball. Maybe this game he needs to still figure that out. The defense for the Ravens, they'll be able to put pressure on Gardner Minshew or whoever else they got back there, and they'll win this game easily. Next game we got is Browns at Jaguars. Jaguars are at home. They're -3, and that's just the advantage that you have at home. I don't even know who to pick. You have BoJack Horseman for the Jaguars, and you have no Deshaun Watson for the Browns, but they would have been better off with him not even being in the building because he sucks anyway. So, yeah, give me the Jaguars. Give me the Jaguars to win this game 24-21. I think Mr. Lawrence has a decent game. They have enough offensive weapons to be able to get over the hump. Browns are just in disarray right now, and I don't know if anybody can be able to save this sinking ship. Jets and Titans. Jets are on the road after losing to the San Francisco 49ers. Titans are at home. Jets are actually -3 on the road. So this is a gimme game for the Jets. If they go ahead and lose this game, they can pack it the fuck up. They can pack it up for the rest of the season, because there's no way that you can lose this game and expect that you're going to be able to compete in the AFC East and compete in the AFC. Like, you got to win this game. The Titans are not a good team. They have a quarterback that likes to eat mayonnaise with his coffee, drink mayonnaise. Like, he's just weird. It's weird, right? So I think the Jets right the ship here. I think they get the defense on track. Their running attack needs to get on track. They got to find a way to keep guys healthy, man. Like Mike Williams, like, what the hell were you? Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure he's going to get back on track. It's just happy to see him get through a game in a Jets uniform. So that was good. You know, the fact that he lasted more than 4 minutes in the game. He already succeeded. So we're going to go ahead and pick the Jets score. 28-14. 28-14 Jets. 49ers and Vikings. 49ers are on the road. They're -4.5 on the road against those lowly Vikings. But hey, they played very well week 1. Sam Darnold looked amazing. You see what happens when you get out of New York? You get out of New York and play for a real franchise. You were on the 49ers last year. You learned. You sat there on the bench. You said, okay, this is how you do it. Now he's a starting quarterback for the Vikings. It would be poetic justice for him to light up those 49ers. I can't stand them anyway. Shouts the bank, but I hate your team. So, but I'm not going to be biased here. 49ers win this game. I think they win easily, 36-24. I think the fact that even though Christian McCaffrey's not playing, Kyle Shanahan understands zone blocking and how to be able to get that running attack on and effective. Their defense is just crazy. They got weapons all over the place. Brock Purdy looked amazing in week 1. 49ers win this game easily. Chargers and Panthers. Yeah. Chargers. Panthers are one of the worst teams in football. They really are. Like, I think they're really starting to think like, you know how, you know, you're dating somebody, you had these two people that you're courting, right? You know, you had one and you got the other one that's all like on standby, right? And you pick one and you end up picking the wrong one. And then you keep looking over your shoulder to the one that's like, man, that one look good there. That's what happened. I think the Carolina Panthers are looking at Bryce Young like, yeah, we shouldn't have picked you. But we stuck. They should have picked the other guy that's in Houston killing it right now, right? CJ Stroud. They chose Bryce Young. And the man, listen, I don't want to disparage any young players. I don't. But I got to call a spade sometimes. I say it about certain young players. Receptacle, you're rubbish right now. You got to find a way to be good. He's just bad. The organization is bad. Everything about the Carolina Panthers right now is bad. There's just nothing good. Nothing good. So they're going to lose. They're going to lose big. 45-12. They're not even going to score an offensive touchdown. 45-12. Chargers going to run all over them and pass all over them. Seahawks and the impressive New England Patriots. Patriots at home. They're not the favorites in this game. Seahawks are -3. Yeah, I can see the Seahawks winning this game 21-17. Patriots offensively, they're not good right now. Jacoby Brissett is a consummate professional, but they don't have enough to really compete offensively. If they can be able to find a way to get some weapons, make some trades, do something, they can be able to possibly have a decent future. I think defensively they're pretty good. Gerard Mayo called a great game plan against the Cincinnati Bengals. So I think if he can be able to do that again, they're at home, they have the fans, they can be able to probably do another upset. And if the Patriots end up winding up 2-0 after 2 weeks in the NFL, that might be the biggest story in the NFL so far. This right here I call the shit bowl. We have the New York Giants against the Washington Commanders. Who really cares who wins this game? Washington is -1.5. That's how you know how bad it is. You don't even get the 3 uptick. You get the 1.5. I'm curious to see Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels had a very good game in his first game as a professional quarterback for the Commanders. The Giants are bad. The Giants are just really bad. I'm still waiting for Coach Dable to come out and say that he took Ozempic. Has he admitted that yet?
No, but I don't get how he wouldn't have taken it.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way you're gonna drop all that weight without Ozempic. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. The man literally ate himself, and it's like, come on now, like that's half the person we saw last season. That's crazy, right? I don't want to listen. And Daniel Jones, you just told me something off pod that the girl that he was, rumored. This is a rumor now. This is not fact. So please don't, hit up my comments in my DM saying that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. This is rumor saying that the girl that is supposedly his girlfriend is not his girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Is that what you heard?
Yeah.
So Now I'm going to put my spin on it, right? I got to put my spin on it, right? This is the way it is. What I believe is that the fact that she came out publicly and said, hey, you know, me and Daniel Jones we're an item. And everybody's like, oh, great, okay. And then the fact he played like dog shit in week 1, people are coming out of the woodwork saying, you dating that guy? Are you the reason why he played that bad? Or you just don't have any taste? You could have picked any quarterback in the world and you picked that guy? So maybe she's trying to distance herself and say, listen, whatever I said last week, I was just kidding. We're just friends. We're just friends. I would do it. I would do that. If I was embarrassed, I would say, listen, I got to find a way to get in front of this thing, right? I got to make sure that I protect myself and also protect the bum that I'm dating, because if he continues to play bad, I got to make sure that I kind of distance myself from that, where people see us together and say, oh, that's just her friend Daniel. Not intimately Daniel. That's just my friend. Hey, we're seeing a game together. Hey, if you catch us at the concert, I'm just giving the thumbs up. We're not kissing. That she got to distance herself from this man. He is horrible. The fact that you got booed at home and then him walking out the arena, people still booed him. They booed him straight to his car. This is New York, all right? If you play like shit, not only are people going to boo you, they're going to disrespect you, and they're going to say, why are you dating this man? They're going to make you feel small. So she did the right thing. Distance yourself from Daniel Jones. Distance yourself from Captain Small Hands, and make sure that you end up, just making yourself available. Just put it out there that you are on the market, even if you're not. Just take the advice. But yeah, Giants are bad. I will take the Commanders in this game because there's no possible way that the Giants are going to win. They just don't have anything. They have nothing to offer. They got nothing to offer. You see what Saquon's doing for the Eagles? You could have had that. You just let him go for nothing.
Yeah, that's just the worst.
Nobody got fired over that. Can somebody get fired? Somebody needs to get fired.
Mm-hmm. Even to the whole situation where the money misjudgment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to get that much money.
Right.
Yeah.
Not only did he get the money, but he got the money from the team down the road.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
It sucks.
Bad. Moving on, we got Buccaneers and Lions. This is a good game. Wasn't this a playoff game? Was it a playoff game last year? Maybe it was. It doesn't matter. Two good games, two good teams, excuse me. I got the Lions winning. They're at home. They're -7. That's a big spread, man. Even for the Lions over the Bucs. I got the Lions winning, though, 27-24. I think Jamie Lee Curtis has another good game. Offensively, they're just great. They really are. They are fun to watch. I never thought that Jamie Lee Curtis would actually turn into a good quarterback, but he's a hell of a quarterback. He really is. So shouts to him. Colts and Packers. The fact that Jordan Love is not playing, he's going to be out for a few weeks. They said that he might not be out that long, but they don't really know. It's going to be several weeks, they've said. I think you have to give the advantage to the Colts just because, Richardson is really a young quarterback. They're good. They have a good defense. They have pieces offensively that they can be able to exploit a lot of weaknesses that the Packers have. Packers have a lot of good young receivers, but if you don't have a good quarterback to throw you the football, what does it matter? Rams and Cardinals, very, very good game. We got an NFC West matchup. I got the Rams winning this game. They're the better team. They have the better weapons. They have the better coach. Everything down the board is just better for the Rams. So I got the Rams winning this game 31-20. Who else we got? Steelers and Broncos. I got the Steelers winning this game. The fact that Russell Wilson isn't playing gives them the advantage because he's so garbage. The fact that the man wasn't active or wasn't playing, and instead of him just being in a regular jersey on the sidelines with the headsets, he got pads on. What do you got pads on? Nobody, you ain't playing. You ain't playing. We know you ain't playing. So take him off. That's what I'm trying to say. He's just weird. He's a weird person. He's just weird. And Mike Tomlin's like, yo, this is what I got. This is what I got to choose from. Give me the kid that can't throw the football. I'll take him. Because you know what I say about the Steelers? Mike Tomlin is the only coach in football that can take any dead body to the playoffs. He can take a whole bunch of dead bodies to the playoffs. And it doesn't matter who's quarterback. He can be able to figure it out. So, yeah, I got Steelers winning. Bengals and Chiefs. Yeah, of course. Chiefs are going to roll the Bengals. I think the Bengals have some concerns, whether it's head coach, Zach Taylor, whether it's Joe Burrow, whether it's the fact that Jamar Chase is not healthy and he's trying to get a contract. There's a lot of problems going on with the Cincinnati Bengals right now. There's a lot of internal turmoil, especially with T. Higgins. There's a lot of shit going on. So it's not just one problem they have. There's a myriad of issues that they have. And this is not the week that they're going to clear that up because they're going against the guys. They're going against the well-oiled machine that is the Kansas City Chiefs. So I got the Chiefs winning this 35-23. They win comfortably. And then the Sunday night game, we have Bears and Texans. The Bears. Yeah, give me the Texans. I like the way Caleb Williams looked. Had the nails, didn't like that. But, they played pretty good. He didn't play great in his first debut, but he played well enough for them to defensively win the game and stuff like that. But Texans are going to roll them. They're going to roll them. Texans are just a better team. They're at home, -6.5. I like that spread. That's very accurate. I got the Texans winning this game 28-21. I do. And then the Monday night game, Falcons at Eagles. Falcons are a good team on paper. They have a decent roster on paper. But they didn't look good in week 1. They scored, 10 points? 10 points in week 1? That don't look like a well-oiled machine to me. Eagles, they're one of the best teams in football. They have one of the best rosters in football. Don't like their head coach. Damn sure don't like the quarterback. I think he's overrated. But A.J. Brown is one of the best wide receivers in the game. We have the other little kid, other wide receiver, I can't remember his name. He's good. Saquon Barkley showed his ass in that first game. They got the best offensive line in football. So, of course, he's gonna wild out. So, yeah, I got the Eagles winning this game, winning it easily, 32-19. And that is my slate of games. Yeah, I think I did. I want to see what my percentage was if I get most of them correct. If I'm not over 60%, it's a fail. It's a fail. So make sure you keep tabs of that silent assassin. If I'm not over 60%, it's a fail. After the break, my irrelevant news of the week. It's gonna get good.
Yo, this is Cigar Gents and Gals. I want to give a shout out to my boy Barry for All Even Podcast. Keep doing your thing, bro. Killing it.
Now it's time for my irrelevant news.
You gotta
of the
be
week.
kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the? I mean, yeah, they stink.
Every week, I find some interesting stories to discuss. What do I have this week? Well, OnlyFans creator payments have reached $6.6 billion. So we're going to go ahead and kind of mix two stories together. Do you know what the NBA payroll total was last season for the 23-24 season? $4.9 billion. So which means that OnlyFans has amassed, what is that, $1.7 billion more than the NBA? You already know that smut sells, okay? It doesn't matter what it is. You got people out there that it's not just, this is what people gotta realize about OnlyFans, right? It's not just sex that's there. Some people like videos some people have cooking channels and stuff like that where they're modeling clothes and all of this stuff. Nobody cares about that stuff though. They don't. Let's just be honest, right? Those channels do get some love. There's some people, let me pay $20 a month to be able to see somebody cook that I like. Oh. But then there's the other side of it. That's the real moneymaker, right? Women that are doing stuff for a little bit of change. That's all I'm saying, right? You got pages out there where women are literally farting in men's faces for money. And the subscriptions are like $100+ and these men are paying it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You got some channels where women are kicking men in the nuts with high heels. That's just the way it goes. There's a kink for everybody on OnlyFans. Of course it's going to make almost $10 billion. Why wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
People can be able to go and find their kink and be descriptive and secretive doing it, right? It's just the way it goes. You know how many people subscribe to OnlyFans that you don't know about? They could be your boss. It could be your boss, right? So it could be anybody. It could be somebody that you speak to every day, right? Oh my goodness, Jimmy is such a nice person. You know, he helps me with my bags every time I go to the grocery store. You don't realize that Jimmy watches fart videos on OnlyFans every night. You don't know. This thing is just, it's crazy. But we live in a society where, you know, it's acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
It's acceptable. But my thing is this, right? And now I'm going to campaign for the sex workers out there, the old school sex workers, the ones that are on the street at Hunts Point. If you could be able to make all this money on the internet, why they can't do their thing on the street? That's all I'm saying. Like, look, all they got to do is say, oh, word. So I need a computer and I could be able to do this. The same thing I'm doing. Come on now. Just make it legal. If they out there working, just make it legal. It's legal in Vegas. It's legal in some other parts. In New York, just make it legal. If they want to do it, just let them do it. What's the point of trying to put policing on it? Well, because they can't tax it? Is that what it is?
I'm going to go out and say, wasn't the Gilgo murderer like after prostitutes? Out here killing people.
I understand that. There is that. You know, they can find a way to have some regulation, I guess. I don't know. But come on now. OnlyFans is killing right now. They compete with the NFL in regards to money. Are you kidding me? This is wild. This is wild. You think Jeff Bezos has an OnlyFans page? Like he's following some OnlyFans?
Yeah, I mean, everyone does at least like I feel like look. Because like also too, they have all like the celebrities on there as well. So you're like, oh, like let me get a little quick like.
I tell the truth. Tell the truth. If there was a celebrity crush that you had and you found out that he had an OnlyFans page, would you say it's only $15? What's $15 gonna hurt?
I would probably like pay it and then do the thing like, oh, I didn't mean to purchase it and get my money back.
Yeah. Call the bank. Hey, somebody did this by accident. This is not a purchase that I made myself.
Yeah.
I was hacked.
Yeah.
I was hacked.
Like the fraud charge.
Facts.
But
exactly.
It depends. There's not like many Justin Bieber maybe, but that's
Justin Bieber. Okay, yeah, that's fair. You're a Bieber fan. That I wonder if banks really do. I know the people that are customer service. They know that people be lying their asses off, right? They'll call and say, "Hey, Lynn, what's your name?" John. Hey, John. There is a charge on my credit card I'd like to dispute. Sir, okay, could you go ahead and tell me the time and the when this actually occurred? Yeah, it was June 7th. If you see that there's a cost of $650. I'd like this purchase to be removed, please. Mm-hmm. He said, but sir, I see this particular purchase 10 times on June 7th. So you're saying that all of these charges need to be? Yes, all of them need to be disputed, please. Okay, I see that there's a inscripted. We don't know exactly what site it comes from, so so I'm sure that after that person gets off the phone, John is like, that man's watching porn. He's trying to cover his tracks. That's what he's trying to do. I'm telling you that there has to be something like that, right? Mm-hmm. You ever hear about the people that go to hotel rooms and run up the bill with all these crazy videos? Like, what are you doing? These people are crazy. It's nuts. But hey, listen, shouts to the people that are on OnlyFans. Listen, if I was a girl, I'd be on OnlyFans too. I would just show my feet. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I would see, the thing is, it would be different. Because it wouldn't be like I'd get my feet manicured and like looking nice and all these different polishes, right? I would have the hammer toes and sell that because there's somebody out there that loves that type of shit, right? So if I could be able to corner the market, I'll be rich. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It's a kink out there for everybody. Moving on. It's another one that I saw. It's very interesting. Yes, there we go. Kevin Hart's vegan restaurant chain Hart House closes all locations after 2 years. The successful billionaire entrepreneur that he is. You know, sometimes you can be able to make certain business ventures that don't hit. Not everything you touch is gonna hit. But I will say this though. The fact that the vegan house or the Kevin's house? Hart House. Hart House closed and it's a vegan restaurant makes sense to me. You know why? Because I always say, don't nobody want to eat that bird food all the time. Nobody want to eat that bird food all the time. That's why people are like, look, it's nice, but I don't want that damn hummus all the time. I don't want it. Right? So people just stop going. I tell people all the time, listen, if you're going to invite me somewhere, right? If you're going to invite me somewhere, make sure that there's real food there. I don't want no bird food. You invite me over your house, Dollar Assassin, don't have no bird food there. Because I don't want it. I want real food. I want some Italian stuff. I want some real food. What? What happened?
It's not bird food.
What?
They have Italian. They have pasta and stuff like that.
They don't eat that. They eat the real stuff.
So what do I cook?
You eat it's bird food. It is. I love it.
The lasagna that I made.
Yeah, 100% bird food. 100%.
What's in the bird food lasagna?
Alternative stuff.
Okay.
Alternative stuff. It wasn't real meat. It was good.
Mm.
It was good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. But just a little bird foodish. That's all I'm saying.
It was like the Impossible.
Right.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. The Impossible lasagna. You can be able to eat that, right? But eat it all the time. Some people are not gonna want to frequent that restaurant all the time. That's what I'm saying.
What if she doesn't tell you next time? Then you don't know if it's.
I wouldn't know the difference, honestly.
I would say the Impossible. I don't. I think that's pretty.
Well, you
good.
can taste the difference in regard. Because what was that meat, sweetie, that you had bought? What was it? It was a replacement. What was it called?
Beefless beef.
So what was it actually made out of?
Like rice protein, pea protein. There was no soy in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mixture of like different things, but the texture was.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
It was very beefy looking.
That's what I'm saying, though. See, the thing is, I can give you an example of somebody who will go to that restaurant and try it and say, oh, it's good, right? But how we are as people is that we grow accustomed to what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
So they might have liked it. That don't necessarily mean they're going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
You can like something without returning, right? I've watched a whole bunch of movies. I've watched them one time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to rewatch it. You know what I mean? I'm going to rewatch it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it already. I don't need to see it again. While there's certain movies that I watch these type of movies all the time, I will continue to watch it. So that's all it is. That's all it is. Nobody want to eat that bird food all the time, Kevin Hart. Come out with like a burger house or something. You'll be fine. Hart House Burger House. You'll be fine. That should be still open. Moving on to the last one here. Ohio Division of Wildlife reveal truth behind man holding 2 geese photo. The story behind a viral photo of man holding 2 geese have been revealed by the Ohio Division of Wildlife, and it involves roadkill. According to TMZ, the man in the viral photo was collecting 2 geese that have been struck by a car in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus is reportedly 45 minutes away from Springfield, where Trump made his claims, of course. The wildlife organization explained that usually people need documentation from a county sheriff or wildlife officer to collect a carcass, but the Franklin County wildlife officer confirmed that no such paperwork is required for geese. In this case, the man had the right to have them. Additionally, there was no evidence that confirmed that the man is an immigrant, Haitian, or intended to eat the geese. Officially, Officials say that the story is being exaggerated due to Trump's recent remarks and his supporters pushing the narrative online. Additionally, all officials see no issue with the situation, noting that dealing with geese is common practice. So people are going to see this and hear this and still don't. Well, he's trying to eat the dogs. I seen the dogs and the cats in his hand. And yeah, they might have a little feathers on them, but they're dogs under there. Doesn't matter what you tell people anymore. People have become, I won't even say people have become stupider since social media has come about. I just believe that stupid people have been given a platform. There's always been idiots out there, right? But they never had a sounding board to be able to spill these dumbass claims. But I can tell you that historically speaking, you go to a town hall meeting, you hear the dumbest stories that you will ever hear in a town hall meeting. What they bring to these councilmen and these people that are your local officials are some wild stories. It's always been that way. So this is no different. The only difference is that people now have social media to say, she said that there was dogs being stolen. Come on now. I want to talk about this a little later, about what we need to be talking about that we're not, but I'm not going to do it right now. This is a funny photo, though. The guy actually has 2 geese in his hand. I wonder what he did with them, though.
Yeah, I did see the photo.
Yeah.
But I don't, just being me, I guess, even, like, I feel like it doesn't make sense, like, just first thought, oh, this man killed a geese and go cook it.
Right.
Like, I don't think that.
Exactly.
Thinking, like,
had it not been this narrative, you would have probably just thought, oh, he's just going to give this to the animal shelter so they can just dispose of it for roadkill, because that's what happens. Like, normally when animals die on the road, you have a service that collects them, takes them to the animal shelter so they can find a way of either, communaling them or something like that. That's what happens, right? But because, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it. Just gonna leave it alone. That is my irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean,
they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Moving on. Some basketball stories here. Shouts to Dwayne Wade. He's finally getting the credit that he deserves. He's getting his own statue October 27th of this year. Miami Heat are going to reveal his statue. What a legend. The fact that he's actually, being enshrined like this is special for him. The fact that he spent the majority of his career with the Miami Heat, won 3 championships there. There's a county named after him. Like, it's only right for him to get the notoriety and the appreciation that he deserves. He was a great player. I think if it wasn't for the injuries, I think Dwayne Wade would be remembered as probably top 3, top 4 best shooting guards of all time. I think he's one of the best blocking guards of all time in regards to, him being able to contest shots and play that style of defense and have the anticipation defensively that he had, and just the no fear attitude that he had playing the game of basketball, being able to convince a LeBron James and a Dwayne and a Chris Bosh, to be able to come down to Miami to, create that dynasty down there for the 4 years that they had. So it's just a special time for him, and I know he's going to appreciate it. I respect Dwayne Wade a great deal, for the player that he was on the court. So shouts to him. Definitely a big deal for him. The only thing, I'll just stop with the painting of the nails. I can't. Just don't do that. Moving on. I seen some good news in regards to the Lakers. I don't know what it was, but we're gonna talk about it. Hey, it's Laker time, all right? Christian Wood, Lakers backup center. He was supposed to, have a resurgent season this season. He had tweeted, listen, this is revenge tour for him. He's going to have a good season. Well, he had, arthroscopic surgery on the knee. This is the second time that he's having surgery on that knee in the offseason. They got to clean some stuff up. So he's going to be out a few months. So Lakers Nation is already panicking. Oh my goodness, we haven't made any moves in the offseason. What are we going to do? We don't have Christian Wood. Who's going to play? I don't really care about all that. He'll be back. JJ Redick's the coach. We'll figure it out. We still got LeBron James. Still got Anthony Davis. We still have some weapons that we can be able to utilize and see how it goes. It may be a rough stretch for the first 20 games of the season. Who knows? But maybe it won't. But Shams Charania posted that 7-footer Christian Koloko is finalizing a return to the NBA, and the Los Angeles Lakers are frontrunners to sign him among Raptors, Clippers, and Spurs. Koloko is awaiting clearance to play from the NBA's fitness panel. However, he is eligible to sign now. So the fact that the Lakers are actually the front runners shows that Rob Pelinka is making moves. You know, he's been quiet all off season long. Listen, the man is trying to make cheap moves on the fly. I don't hate him for that. You want to make the perfect move. You don't want to make the wrong move and then be handcuffed like they were all those years back when I said you should never have Russell Westbrook in your organization. I said it. Silence Ass, did I not say it? I said it. I knew exactly what the hell would happen. And people are still giving me shit now. Yo, you still hating on Westbrook. Yo, that's bad. You don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, because when the Denver Nuggets tank their season and they're going to stink this year, right? Well, you're going to see. You're going to see. And I'm going to be the first one to come out here and say, I told you so. Okay? Just like I tell you in regards to Chris Paul, Black Cat Paul, bad luck follows him wherever he goes. Okay? It's like that what's that movie? The Ring? That's what it is. We seen that movie the other day. Me and Jasmine watched the Deliverance. It's great. That's what it reminded me of. There's some spirit in here that's fucking with everybody. That's Chris Paul. That's what it is. So it's just what it is. Some people are just jinxes. That's all. Seriously. Some people just have a black cloud hanging over their heads. It's true. You have some people in your life that are like Debbie Downers. Every time you ask them, how are they? Well, you know, I got all these prayers. Like, why ask you all that? I just ask you, how are you? You can just lie and say you're okay. Don't tell me your problems and dump all this nonsense on me. I don't want to hear it. Chris Paul feels like that type of person. Yeah? Just get away. Just stay there. Like, don't come over here. Like, we can speak, but just stay over there. That's kind of like Russell Westbrook. Yes, he's good. Yes, he plays hard. But at the end of the day, you're a bit of a jinx. You know, you kind of cost us games because you don't really use your head in certain situations. And a guy like Jokic, who's literally one of the best players in the league and one of the smartest players in the league, we're going to see how he plays with Westbrook. So, shouts to you guys. But the Lakers, I want to see them make a trade before the season. I would love that. I would love to see them get a big man. I'd love to see them get a little bit more perimeter scoring. You know, what's my man name? Vanderbilt, he's still hurt coming off of injury. He's not going to be ready for training camp. Hopefully he's ready for the season. You have Gabe Vincent coming back. Hopefully he's going to give you something because he was useless last year. So, you know, there's a lot of question marks on the team. We're going to see what happens, but I have faith in my Lakers. I have faith in Rob Pelinka, and I have faith in LeBron James. I should talk about my Mets. I should, but I won't. And the reason why I won't is because since I've gone on my tirade all those months back, they said, okay, we heard you. They've been hot ever since. Since I went on that tirade, they've been hot ever since. It's kind of like when you yell at your children and you're disappointed in them. You still love them. You just don't want to be around them today, right? That's me. I haven't watched a single game since I went on that rant. But I do check to see how they're doing, right? Because I still care. I still care about their well-beings as players. I still care about what happens. I just can't watch. I told myself I'm not going to watch a single game, and I am holding myself to that statue, and that's just the way it goes. But shouts to the Mets. After the break, Dummy of the week. It's a good one. I will tell you that. It is a good one.
Dummy, yeah.
After the break. Welcome back, y'all. Now it's time for the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask, who is the Dummy of the Week? There's no Claw. Jimmy left because he had to go to some hole-in-the-wall Yakuza spot. I don't know where the hell he went. But shouts to Jimmy. Hopefully he's safe. Silent Assassin, what you got?
So I'm sure you've seen the video where Biden puts on the Trump hat.
Yes.
So there's some people out there that think that he's trying to send secret messages saying to like watch out for Kamala. Like this is his, I don't know, psychic abilities go into people's heads, be like, don't vote for her. I'm showing you with the Trump hat. Even though it's just a unity thing. I mean, he's at like the 9/11 ceremony with like all the people trying to unite, be like, we're just people. At the end of the day, we're sticking together, and people are like, no, he's trying to tell us something bad about this woman.
So the president that's been about unity his entire career, he ran on We the People, right? To be able to bring the country together in a time of healing, right? COVID and all that stuff. You're telling me that this fucking man, at this stage of his life, is giving you fucks a signal that you shouldn't vote for Kamala Harris?
Dummy, yeah.
This is the thing about conspiracy theorists, is that no matter what you give them, no matter what information you give them that's rooted in fact, they will tell you it's not. So just because he put this hat on to be able to say, hey, on this day, let's not talk about our division. Let's not have identity politics. Let's come together as one and be one country. You still have these fucking idiots out here. Yeah, he's giving us a sign that Kamala Harris is the devil. I saw it in my toilet bowl. They said that somebody's gonna give you a sign that you shouldn't vote for this demon woman.
Dummy, yeah.
I can't. I don't know what has happened. And you know what? Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. This has always been the case that low education, low information voters tend to vote one way. And the party that ignites that and gives them life does it on purpose. They want them to not have the information so they can do what they always want to do without regulation and restriction. I can't though. Some conspiracy theories get me. I'm a logical thinker, so when I hear certain shit, like the sovereign citizen stuff, it's a bit much. Right? Well, you can tell me, well, I'm a sovereign citizen of the land, so I can be able to drive this car without a driver's license because I'm traveling. So you have a right to travel. No. The actual law is that you have a right to go wherever the fuck you want to go. But every state has their own laws.
Dummy, yeah.
I just want to be done with it. I can't wait until November is over. Okay, what is it, November 6th? I just want it to be done. That was a good one. I like that one because I heard this. People were sending me videos. I'm like, are you brain dead? Is this really what you guys are caught up on? And there's news stations that are covering this.
It's crazy.
Like, how many times does the man have to tell you that he loves Kamala Harris for you to actually, so you don't believe the 100 times he's said that to you, or the one time he put on a MAGA hat, 9/11 ceremony of that. You didn't see him on his off day at his house with a MAGA hat on. He's in front of everybody with this shit on. Like, all right, moving on. That was a good one. I have mine, and they're not. It's just gonna be one, but there's gonna be something else that I say. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, KYLER Murray. KYLER Murray gets my
Dummy. Yeah.
Now, I've talked about KYLER Murray a great deal on this show. I've never heard of a player having a clause in their contract where they say you need to study more than you're studying because, in order for you to get this money, we need to make sure that we guarantee this. Right? The man plays too many video games, too much video games. And the fact that you're playing all these video games, and maybe, are you playing the games that are supposed to make you more, aware of critical thinking? Or are you just playing the games that just make you dumber? Because if you're playing Madden, you should be able to play that well because you play football. So you would think that if you play this game, you would actually have better pocket awareness and figure out how to play. Maybe he doesn't. Well, they have a new weapon in Arizona, right? His name is Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the son of the Hall of Fame wide receiver Marvin Harrison that played with Peyton Manning for the bulk of his career, if not the entirety of his career, for the Indianapolis Colts. Great wide receiver. Well, his son is a physical specimen. Guy is a freak athlete, has the same hands as his father in regards to the ability to catch passes and be very skilled, has an amazing route tree, has great footwork, freak of nature, right? Well, the first game of the season, he caught one pass for 4 yards, right? And everybody's like, well, why is he not more involved in the offense? Well, here's what KYLER Murray said. Sometimes the ball goes to him, but that's not my job. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wide receiver runs the routes. They turn and they put their hands up to catch the pass. From who?
It's like, what else is he supposed to get the ball from?
That's exactly. The quarterback throws you the football. So if he's saying that's not, so whose job is it then? Whose job is it then? This is why people don't like KYLER Murray, because he continues to put his fucking foot in his mouth. Why can't you just be normal? Just say, listen, had a bad game. I didn't see him. I apologize. We had a conversation after the game, and, I'll make sure I clean it up and make sure that, I get to him next time. But to say that it's not your job, then whose job is it? The center? The coach? You're the quarterback. You get paid to throw the football to the big guy that's running down the field wide open. Isn't that the premise of the game? Open guy, quarterback throws the ball. But you know why he probably saying it's not his job? Because he can't find the wide receiver. You know why? Because KYLER Murray is like 5'3". So he can't see over the big ass defensive linemen that are running at him to see that Marvin Harrison has been butt naked wide open the whole game. What are we talking about here? What kind of excuse is that? This is the thing that a lot of people have been saying about him, is that as a quarterback, you need to take responsibility for the team. When you play well, you thank the team. When you play bad, you put it on yourself. But to ever say as a quarterback, it's not my job, that means you're passing the buck to somebody else. So who is it? Whose job is it? Is it the backup quarterback that didn't get a snap? Is it his job to throw the ball to Marvin Harrison?
Could be. I don't know.
They're paying you millions of dollars. Whose job is it? I'm telling you, if I was management, I would trade him tomorrow. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't think they want him in the first place, but they say, we got to pay him because at this point, we have to figure out what he is. He's not a leader. He's not somebody that's going to lead your franchise. You need a guy that's going to lead your franchise. You need a quarterback that's going to be boring. Somebody like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady is going to give you the same fluff vanilla answers every week. Oh, well, gosh, jolly. His teammate's great. Yeah, not some idiot that's going to tell you that it's not their job. Because you're already causing issues now. You got people talking about it. If I'm Marvin Harrison, I'm like, oh, it's not your job. Okay, cool. So when I don't get the ball and I press you about it after the game, we're going to see whose fault it is and whose job it's not. If I was Marvin Harrison, I'd swing at him. I would. First game of my career, I'm swinging on you. Because whose job is it? You're supposed to be the veteran to help me. But you talking about, it's not my fault. It's not me. Yeah. Whose fault is it? If they call the number to say, hey, this is the play. We got to get Marvin Harrison open. You missed the play. We called the play for him. So why didn't he get the ball? Not your job. It's not going to be a job soon. It's not going to be a job soon when they go ahead and cut you. But you get the dummy of the week this week. You definitely do, because I don't see how you cannot realize that you are the captain. You may realize it, you may not, but you will realize that you are the dummy this week. I always like to end the show on a PSA. And this is something that I don't take personal, but I just find it sad that at this point of our lives, the older we get, people still don't know certain things that they should. And if you're a celebrity, no matter what list you're on, whether you're on the A list or the Z list, you have some level of influence. Well, Faison Love, who's a comedian, if you want to call him that, and he's pretty much a Z list, whatever you want to call him, H list celebrity. Well, he took to his platform and said, tried to watch the debate between Kamala, you call her Kamala, her name is Kamala, between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, and he got so bored and started to watch the Cosby Show. And he's like, oh, well, you know, what happened to the black nuclear family, and we got to get back to that, and blah, blah. So I'm following him. Okay, you know, that's your opinion. That's fine. And then he said, well, you know, I can't understand child support. And, you know, that's just divided and separated the black family structure. And, you know, I always thought that child support was for deadbeat dads. And I didn't know about child support until I was like 50 years old when, you know, I got dinged for child support. So I need both candidates to abolish child support. So after I heard his diatribe, I let it sink in for a second. And I said to myself, what a fucking idiot he is. And it's sad because he's not the only person who thinks this way. So let's go ahead and have Civics 101. The President of the United States operates on a federal level. Child support is a state issue. Every state has their own child support laws. New York is different from Florida. Florida is different from Texas. Texas is different from California, and it goes on and on. A lot of people don't realize that the President of the United States does not handle everything in this fucking country. We learned this in the 5th grade because there's 3 branches of government, right? If you're the president, you handle things on a federal level. So like FEMA, it's federal. President can be able to have some type of situation there. When people go to jail, say for example, somebody has a federal conviction and that president is leaving office, that president can pardon that person if they feel to, because why? They're in federal prison. If somebody's in a state prison, there's no pardon coming. There's a reason why the president can't just overturn Roe v. Wade at this point, because it's been kicked back to the states. So when you hear people say, hey, gas prices up and my eggs is too high, the president got it. You have to deal with things on a state level. When somebody gets convicted at a state level, you have to deal with prosecutors. You got to deal with the state judge and all that stuff. Or, you know what I mean? Whatever your local people are. When it's a federal situation, you deal with a U.S. attorney to prosecute you on a federal level. So when you have people like Faison Love, no matter what level of celebrity is, as I stated, whether you're a Z-list or an A-list, you're dangerous because you're spreading misinformation for people to say that, oh, well, yeah, well, this should be a situation that the president deals with. So I need Kamala Harris. If she doesn't do this, then I'm not voting for her. You're spreading misinformation. Just like how when some people like to talk about they're a finance person, and then they worry about capital gains tax when they don't have 2 fucking pennies to rub together. It makes me laugh because I would rather you not vote than for you to be on your uppity porch thinking that you can be able to say things that make no sense to the average person. You don't rub shoulders with Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos. You don't even have a home to call your own in regards to owning one. So, and you're worrying about capital gains tax? These are the type of people that I deem as dangerous because they spread misinformation to people that don't have knowledge in regards to politics and economics. So I prefer for you not to say anything and not to vote if you're going to go ahead and spread bullshit. That's the problem. So we need to really start reteaching ourselves or relearning what things are for our country, because it's very vital that people understand how this country works. It's kind of like when people take their road test. I can guarantee you that maybe 70% of people that take their road test, if they got retested right now, they probably fail. Because there's so many things that we don't do after we pass that test. Most of us break the rules on the road. We don't remember that certain turns you shouldn't make before. We don't remember that shit. Why? Because we don't choose to relearn it or keep ourselves abreast of situations that change or don't. Just to kind of, keep it fresh in your mind. It's the same thing with politics. Well, I don't know politics. You don't have to know politics to understand the basics. 3 branches of government. If you have a Democratic president and the House and the Senate are Republican and they don't want to work with that president, what ends up happening? Nothing passes. Vice versa. So you need to make sure that all branches of government are working together, and that's how you can be able to get things passed. So when people say, oh, well, Trump, he got things done. Yeah, he got things done in the first 2 years of his presidency. You know why? Because the House was Republican. Oh, nobody remembers that. Oh. And then it wasn't. Then things changed. Obama, when he was president, he didn't have control of the other branches of government, so nothing he wanted got passed. Oh. But yet people want to blame him for sort of, hey, he ain't do nothing for us. Why don't you go to your local constituents and have that same energy? I bet you don't even know the names of your local constituents. You probably don't even know they fucking exist. Why? Because you don't understand how government works. You just think that somebody on a TikTok channel could be able to tell you certain things and you can believe it. At what point are we going to start educating ourselves and finding out the information or relearning certain things. Like when people tell you that tariffs are not tax, they are. They actually are. So when somebody tells you, I'm not going to raise your income tax, I'm going to be the tariff president. What is he telling you? It's called the Kansas City Show. Yeah, look there. I'll do this. Educate yourselves. We have 54 days. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm telling you to understand how it works. And then you can be able to have your own opinion. But if you don't, then don't spread disinformation and misinformation, because you're more dangerous that way than not voting. And there's a lot of you motherfuckers out there like that. Next thing. I'm on a roll today. This whole Haitian thing in Ohio bothers me because, again, we've seen this with COVID, where they went ahead and picked on the Asians because you had somebody saying that this came from China, right? So certain people who listen to this will go ahead and spill their hatred on these poor people, right? These immigrants or these migrants, they're not eating dogs and cats. What ended up happening was there's a lot of towns that are dying in Ohio. And these towns, because the people that live there don't want to work the odd jobs. They don't want to, it's beneath them. I'd rather stay on government assistance than work there. Right? So what did they end up doing? They put out, a blast and say, hey, listen, for people that are in other states, come here, work here. We'll put you up. We'll give you jobs to help us build up our economy. And some Haitian migrants that had work visas, they said, oh, that's an opportunity for us to be able to make life for us. They went down there, took the jobs, took the homes, built the homes, fixed the homes, all the broken homes that were out there, and built this economy up. And you have racist fucks that are in that town just because they're not comfortable about seeing certain people in their area. Oh, they're stealing the dogs and cats. We all know it's fake. But instead of telling the truth, they want to go ahead and spread division and racism, right? So these poor Haitian families now are scared to send their children to school because you have people out there hunting Haitians. But yet you want to tell me that there's another party out there that spreads division. I'm not stupid. I know what my eyes tell me. I know what I hear. And at some point, people have to start realizing if you want to support that side of things, it says a lot more about you than it does the actual message. You need to be better. The fact that we have people that are fearing for their lives to be poll watchers, to be able to handle our elections, they can't even do that in peace. They can't go back to their homes because you robbed us in the election when your stupid ass president actually came out and said that he lost. Multiple times. But you don't believe what you hear. You believe what he tells you. Have a mind of your own. Realize what you're doing is actually dividing this country more and making us look like clowns to the rest of the world. That's all I'm saying. That's all for the show. A lot of people will probably turn that off, but I don't give a shit. If you don't want to hear the truth, then don't listen to it. I really don't care. Sweetheart, I appreciate you staying down here. Jimmy the super intern, like I said, he's in some Yakuza basement playing poker. Claw's not here. Shouts to Claw. Do you have any closing words, Silent Assassin?
I don't know about this week. Like I said, I said everything I had to say.
Yeah, that's pretty much you on brand. That's fine. Listen, I say what I say. If you like it, cool. If you don't, it's cool too. You don't need to like me. You don't need to appreciate everything I say, but take what I say and apply it and look at it. Do your research. Go ahead and find it. You may learn something. You may not. I'm always going to be me. That's just what it is. Until next week, stay safe. Stay cool. Peace. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. Fuck out of here.
My son is the champ. So get over it.